I see we're starting things off quick. That wasn't a trailer, that was the opening scene. Blastoff Girls is director Herschel Gordon Lewis's contribution to the rock and roll film genre of the 1960s. And by contribution, I mean that decades later, people are still asking each other, what the fuck are the Blastoff Girls? Hell, I just watched the movie and I'm still not really sure what the Blastoff Girls are. The movie is about a band called The Big Blast, and I guess the Blastoff Girls are the girls that hang out with them. That's like changing the title from The Wild World of Batwoman to The Wild World of Terrible Backup Dancers. I expect a lot more originality out of something called Creative Film Enterprises. This must be the creative team right here. They all look tired and drunk. The movie stars Chicago garage band The Faded Blue, because when you want your mark on music to last through the ages, put the word fade in your name. At least the movie is nice enough to name the Blastoff Girls. They were the Fly Girls of their time, if the Fly Girls were the opening act for a band called Wonder Bread. The band we're seeing here is named Charlie, named so because every member of their band is named Steve. They're looking a little rough. Someone snuck in a caffeinated beverage to the sock hop.
Good night, ladies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, they're playing again! We need to get the hell out of here! But not before the Good Night Ladies song.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies.
There is some truth to that. This is the last time tonight that they're gonna see a woman. Might as well be polite and say their goodbyes. Holy shit, Senator Robert Kennedy was in the audience. What does he think of Charlie?
Nah, that's so good.
Well, that's a good way to get the movie audience on your side. Agree with them that the music sucks. This is their manager, Boojie Baker, a sleazeball so corrupt, even the synopsis on IMDb asks, "Can anyone stop this scumbucket?" Pfft, way to be impartial, IMDb. Boojie is stealing money from Charlie, which shocks them. Charlie made money?
Boojie, you are all through. We aren't gonna work for you anymore.
No one was taking us seriously when we told them we had a manager named Boojie.
Pardon.
I'm sure you boys don't want to leak it to the press that you served mini Snickers bars to the kids before supper time. Boojie is so threatening, he's instantly shoved around by the band until they take their money from him. And then Anthony Michael Hall's short-lived career as a band manager ended, but not before his own goodbye song.
Good night, Boojie. Good night, Boojie.
And then Boojie realized it was a blessing in disguise that they let him go. Take us out, boys.
Good night, Boojie.
I said take us out, not gross us out. I am seriously reconsidering buying Charlie's second album. Boojie searches for more talent at Mother Blues. Blues so pure, your mother would approve of you listening to it. This here looks like a man's job.
Blow, Maxine, if you want a place to sleep tonight.
Blow meant something different in the 60s. But seriously, he wants her to suck his dick. This is such a shitty bar, it's actually Wednesday. Here's The Faded Blue. Let's see what the audience thinks. Perfect foreshadowing, I think, is the best we're gonna get. Boojie instantly wants them under contract and entices them with sweet deals.
She goes with the deal, right, Maxine?
You mean we get to partake in sex slavery? We're in! I suppose they're gonna say yes, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie, and that'd be unfortunate.
Gee, Tom, I don't know. What have we got to lose?
I don't know, back of guy's head. You could probably lose the scene framing. Did every teenager look 45 back in the 60s? The beautiful thing about signing up with young B.D. Hoffler is the free shirts, of course. And to sweeten the deal, he leaves them his girlfriend, who he has total respect for.
Come on, Gordy. Not your turn yet.
Don't worry, Gordy. You'll get to ride that train when her vagina bumps you up to business class. Boojie already gets himself a new suit. It's part of his lifelong dream of turning into a banana split. He renames the band the Big Blast, which would make a more appropriate title for the movie, but I guess not calling it Blastoff Girls would make the audience fearful that this exploitation film wouldn't have girls in it. This jam is certainly someone's jam, I guess.
The way you treat me, baby, it's like you don't want me at all.
And thus the first lip-syncing scandal occurred. Sexy. He looks like he's holding in a fart. Stay tuned after the show, kids. We're gonna sacrifice this pig. I smell guitar solo. I always wondered what epilepsy would look like as a musical. I had no idea this was a costume party. Explains why she's dressed as sexy Beetlejuice. Boojie is trying to get them signed up for a new gig, with a little bit of tomfoolery involved.
What do you think of the Big Blast?
Oh, mister, I just love them. They make me feel all warm.
See? Airheads like it.
Oh, I always wanted to meet a big promoter.
The fact that she's hitting on me means she has terrible taste. I'm not signing the band. The Big Blast gets an even bigger gig for an audience of 20, and whatever this is. The fuck was that? Did I just witness the birth of ecstasy? Those girls were really into lightly picking at their shirts. Clearly, the girls were paid by Boojie. How did they convince this band to do the movie? Look, you're gonna be playing a band so shitty that girls have to be paid to be interested in you. Here, let's do it one more time. It's really bad when a group of young girls are not convincing at liking dumb things. Meanwhile, Boojie is resting comfortably as an oatmeal cream pie. Rob Lowe, however, is not happy that Boojie is holding out on their cash. So Boojie sets up a verbal contract.
Might mean a nickel apiece.
Hey, man, a nickel!
You know, even in the 60s, a nickel wasn't that much, numbnuts. Boojie has his own set of demands, though.
I own the jackets.
Okay, you can have them. Can the band at least have the women? He could at least be better at pep talk.
Right now, your names are worth exactly 0.
You're so worthless, we're gonna cut to you for only 2 frames.
Okay. But when do we get our names on something? I mean our names, not the big...
Is that bothering you, Bunky?
And we're not even gonna let you finish your lines. Boojie sends his associate Gordy out to find 2 additional members, Doug and Rob Walker. Just kidding. After Donald Trump and Ghost Can't Do It, I'm all cameoed out.
Hey, man. You serve fried chicken?
What? Oh no.
Do we serve fried chicken? Well, we do serve fried chicken.
What the fuck is he doing here? I don't see any Hell's Bloody Devils around for miles, and I don't even know why he was hanging out with the Hell's Bloody Devils to begin with. Hey Colonel, this is not what we meant when we said bring us our drumsticks. Only thing worse than watching Colonel Sanders dance to shitty music is seeing him in the background creepily staring at dancing youngsters. I don't know why I'm acting surprised at his appearance. His picture was in the opening credits. Maybe I figured it would be a Daryl Hammond appearance instead. Director H.G. Lewis would later state the difficulties in working with Colonel Sanders on set, with Sanders not only wanting to direct the scene himself, but also wanting top billing on the movie. I don't know why the latter is so far-fetched. The movie is called Blastoff Girls, and isn't even about the Blastoff Girls. Maybe he changed his mind after actually hearing them play. And then the chickens out back who are begging to be deep fried. I'm sure this music is right up Colonel Sanders' alley.
Hey, boys, I was just fine.
Wow, rave review there, Colonel. Just put that right on the poster. Just fine, says Colonel Sanders. And go ahead and add this creepy wink, too. He's like if Santa Claus moved from the North Pole to a plantation, and he was a fantastic cook. He may keep his recipes a secret, but this movie puts his shitty taste in music right there in the open. We now continue on with the adventures of Sonny Crockett's dad. He gives a call to Saran Wrap Records to set up a record deal.
Tonight at my place, 7 o'clock. Better eat some oysters on the way over.
You'll be knee-deep in Worcestershire sauce. Recording engineer Marty Dunn makes it over to Boojie's place, and I'm sure nothing devious is going on here.
Do you want to play catch?
Well, sure.
Then catch.
It's not creepy unless he's looking directly into the camera. Cute. The same director can show a woman's tongue getting ripped out, but he can't show nudity. Though this movie does have a torture scene. Turn it off! Turn it off! Here we get to see what kind of negotiator Boojie is.
They're ready now.
Sorry. Nope.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay, Boojie.
Yeah, what, really? That was fast. Don't you want to hear his blackmail first?
Mr. Dunn, you're done.
You only went after that particular recording engineer just so you could say that line, didn't you? The Big Blast gets their first recording session. Hopefully they make the most of it. Oh my god, this is why Manson went crazy. But, what do the professionals think?
How'd it sound, Ernie? Fair?
Oh, what a sell. How about a second opinion?
Look, like I told you, I've heard worse.
Sounds like a 4-star review to me. The Big Blast is great, only because bands like the Shags exist. I've never seen a movie work so hard at ruining the reputation of its star band. Even the name of their album is simply called Noise. This doesn't even look like a band. It looks like when the teachers decide to get in on the dance. And good work, Boojie. You're now dressed like a damn KFC box. The band is starting to make it big. You can tell because they're forcing someone on the Tunnel of Love ride. And they're smoking cigars. He must be rich. He's lighting an already lit cigar with a merely singed 20 that he can still use later. This movie walks a line between what is a montage and what is horrible editing.
All right, wait a minute. Hold it, I said. Now listen, I've got something that'll take...
In Boojie's defense, there was nothing about having a properly edited montage in their contract. I'm starting to wonder if young Peter Graves here is running out of money. Look, the film stock has caused it to start snowing. And look at this.
Did the boys' record make any money, Gordy?
I ain't with that question. How should I?
Did the boys' record make any money?
In case you cut off the end of your line, no need to refilm it. Just repeat it again in the next cut. The band is headed up to here with Boojie taking their money, and also his filthy language.
You know, you jerks are the most ungrateful bunch of nincompoops I've ever met.
Why resort to such foul language when you could have just as easily said assholes and shitheads? I wish they would stop fighting. They're upsetting the fifth Beatle, Gilbert Gottfried. Boojie agrees not to be their manager anymore, and even offers to throw them a going-away party.
We'll have it at Gordy's place. Yeah. It's nice and big. We'll have lots of room. Know what I mean? We'll have a blast.
I see nothing bad coming of this. Let's see how the party turns out. Some party. We got a quick shot of a leg, but the out-of-focus lamp and the shot of the curtains went along much better with the sad music. Oh man, this party is picked up. Someone remembered to bring the catnip. The smoke is really getting to the cameraman. He's having problems keeping the damn thing still. But how are the boys handling this?
Hello, gorgeous.
Hipster Mo Howard seems to be getting really far with Joan Holloway. Even Goldie Hawn was on the guest list for this party. Damn, in a few minutes they're really gonna wish there was a KFC nearby. But how about some music? You'd think they'd actually be playing their own music, but a random girl beating on the bongo drums is a much better choice. Also, did they hang a baby? Somehow I knew if you got Herman's Hermits and the Shangri-Las together, a good time could be had.
Phew, I know that smell.
That is, until Principal Hardass shows up. Seriously, who is this guy?
That's who I am.
Yeah, you mind showing that so the camera can see it? You're a health inspector for all I know. Actually, Lieutenant Bigfoot from Inherent Vice shows up to arrest them until this well-dressed honeybee walks in. While Boojie is cool with sending the band off to jail, he does vouch for his lackey.
Hey man, like make with a thanks. Back to my little grass shack.
Yeah, okay, you want to wait till the cop's gone before you say that? Not that it matters, since the cop sticks around to watch Boojie blackmail the band into signing a contract with him. That way Boojie will keep them out of jail.
You're doing a smart thing, Sonny. Using a pick on a guitar is a lot easier than using another kind of pick on a rock pile.
What? Were they going to Looney Tunes jail? I'm starting not to trust Merv from Welcome Freshman as a music manager. Back to the studio, this is pretty good, but I gotta tell you, I could use a lot more references to that SNL sketch where they mention cowbell. With the band fighting, Boojie knows how to keep them in line.
All right, bust it. I said bust it.
Marty, when you're dealing with dumb animals, you sometimes have to use a whip instead of dog biscuits.
And then they start licking their own ass and shitting on the floor. What? It's the late 60s. There's a bunch of acid around. How else do you explain this music? Ugh. Is it too late to crack out that whip? It's not for them, it's for me. The pain will distract me from listening to this shit. Miraculously, the band becomes a big hit, and for some reason even Chris Mitchum is getting asked to autograph their work. Now they're so rich, they can afford something anyone can afford. Cigar and a lighter. They could even spring for a series of jump cuts to make it look like they're taking off a lot more clothes than they actually are. Look, they can even pay for a pizza party. Wait till Mom breaks out the nacho bites. Damn, these guys are huge. They're charting with the Yardbirds, Aretha Franklin, The Temptations, and more. Funny, I don't remember that at all, but I guess someone out there likes them.
Oh, that was awful.
What the hell? Even when the band gets big, people are still telling them that they suck. And no one gives a shit if the band overhears them.
They can't get out 8 fires without blowing it.
Look, Marty, you just stay with them.
Boojie, it's absolutely hopeless.
Even God and Satan are debating this band's merits. Well, as long as we're in a recording studio, it's okay if the boom mic is in the shot. Turns out if you screw a band over, their spirits might not be very high.
You guys sure are a bunch of foul-ups.
Way to give them some encouragement. Imagine if he called them fuck-ups. None of the band members want to cooperate at all with Boojie, and instead just want to party.
So tonight, have a blast. Have a blast, huh?
I'm not sure you're being genuine about that, Boojie. It's okay, Boojie will start his own band with himself. Boojie makes better music than the Big Blast does. Perhaps I am being too hard on them. Maybe drugs and sex are making them sound better. This is one of my favorite songs of theirs. I love blah 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 blah. But then, as if struck with a bolt of lightning containing the power of catchiness, this song happens.
I said go yourself. He said go yourself. Go yourself, my friend. Go yourself, my friend. Go yourself, my friend.
Now this one I can get behind. I'm just saying, Jerry and the Pacemakers never had a song called Go F Yourself. The Big Blast has a TV gig, which makes the producer worried that this druggy band may show up on drugs. Perhaps a Blastoff girl can help.
Oh, Mr. Roswell, you're such a doll to have the Big Blast on your show.
If I wanted that kind of passion, I'd call a phone sex line.
You know what I call men who use women this way?
Geniuses? The band finally shows up, but they are so drunk and high that Boojie actually offers to give them a much better contract and stop stealing from them if they pull their shit together and perform well on TV. See? Lesson learned! If you want a better contract in the music industry, all you gotta do is get addicted to drugs and alcohol. Let's listen to this rehearsal. Worst Monkeys episode ever. Hell, this is even the worst episode of the new Monkeys. They start playing their hit song, but even the person in the control room is sick of that one.
That voice is though you're getting a level.
We got one all right. Below sea level.
Thanks, smartass. Is this a TV producer or riff tracks?
Baker, get out of there. How do you expect the camera to see them through you? We aren't shooting x-rays.
The fuck? I feel like I need to renegotiate my contract because there's a stage manager in 1967 taking all my snark away from me. Here's what the boys need to do. Just play that song I like.
Well, go yourself, my friend. Go yourself, my friend.
If Ed Sullivan didn't like the line, "Girl, we couldn't get much higher," he's gonna love this. Turns out the boys weren't drunk at all, but I'm sure they were a little high. They rip their contract up and throw coffee in Boojie's face. Not sure how smart that is. He was gonna offer him a much better contract. No matter. And then Bryan Adams quit being a manager and wrote Summer of '69. Thus ending this movie about a band that I've never heard of. And because I've never heard of them, that also means you've never heard of them, which means I like them. If you're gonna do the stereotypical scene of the band running, shouldn't fans be chasing them? This just looks like a group of crazy people looking for people to de-pants. Oh no, the trains are gonna collide! This is gonna be a disaster! And then, it gets weird. Meaning they decided to film any random thing they came across. Real lion, fake lion, trash can. Clearly symbolizing that working on the movie Roar would be a better time than the Blastoff girls. A movie so hip with irony, the intermission is at the end. And then the band visited the Conrad building, and someone went back in time to break up their parents, thus erasing them from existence, and shooting a snot rocket onto the screen. You've seen the picture, now have a blast? Because God forbid you have a blast during the picture, it's got the word blast in the title. Speaking of which, I still have no clue why they would want to falsely advertise this movie as being about a group of sex-crazed nymphos who follow around a band. Shouldn't this face be enough to get people in the theaters? This is Herschel Gordon Lewis's whitest movie since Black Love. Clearly, the movie is a warning letter. If you hire an asshole to do your business, odds are he'll be an asshole to you. But at least you'll have a killer party first. On second thought, why are they so mad? They would have spent their money on booze, girls, and drugs anyway. Boojie gave it to them for free. Boojie is the real hero of this movie. This movie is slanderous against assholes. But on the plus side, is Go Fuck Yourself by the Faded Blue gonna be my newest ringtone? Yes. And did I choose this movie just because it had Colonel Sanders in it? Yes.
See you next year, Mike.